I'll explain the details to you later. We have to deal with this crisis at hand first. My team will take care of the enemies coming from the front and start the main base station. They might attack us from behind. I hope you can intercept them. You can make use of all the supporting machinery here. And? It's a mania shield for individual use. The force field created by the hypercubes inside can temporarily alleviate the mental strain the shackles put on you, and at least allow your sinners to get back in fighting shape.
Captain, the enemies are coming. The nearest ones are 20 meters away.
C formation, covering fire in 7 seconds. Remember, no matter what happens, don't be swayed by your enemies, don't worry about us, and don't get distracted. It's our responsibility to protect you, and your only job is to protect yourself. The high concentration of contamination has bent space-time and entirely cut off communications. But this area is free of corruptors for the time being. Me too. After the riot, I was transferred back to the DIS-C surveillance zone. Only yesterday I heard that you, the new chief of the MBCC, were doing an excellent job, and that headquarters intended to recruit you to help out in the district of DIS-C. I knew I would meet you sooner or later, but I didn't expect so soon. Not so long ago, I thought you had been kidnapped by the Legion, and your sinners had all defected. Guess I was wrong. Don't worry, I'm not questioning your stance. Your adjutant has since explained the situation to me. I believe in you, Chief. You must have your reasons for doing so. But we're in a dire situation. If you were forced to take that action for some special reasons, or you've come across some special intel, please share it with me. Don't keep me in the dark. I'm not your enemy. The FAC won't be fooled into becoming someone's pawn in some political plot if we can help it. And we don't station our troops somewhere just to stand in someone's way. We came here only because we had received confidential information. An S-class or above mania crisis might break out in Keylan Square. And as you and I have seen, this warning is becoming a reality. What we've seen might only be the beginning. I have to know more. We have to take action. So, that Earl guy from the Legion said the inheritance had been moved, but you can sense it's in the square now, and it suddenly appeared in the conference hall before the outbreak of contamination? Is it possible that they tricked you? Maybe Zoya did bring the inheritance into the conference hall and released it when the negotiation broke down, as a means of retaliation. As you said, she possesses a technique that allows her to seal the inheritance completely. That's what you sense through the shackles?
What's wrong? Why'd you get so serious all of a sudden?
Captain, what are your orders? We're forever ready. We'll fight alongside you until the very end, no matter what.
I see. The information you just gave is very important. For that glimmer of hope, we shall continue our fight. I do. Predicaments faced by the FAC are always beyond easy comprehension, so your contribution is of vital importance. Thank you for letting us know how dire the situation is, and for giving us the silver lining. And now, for the silver lining, we shall fight to the last man. Team N7, assemble!
Yes, sir!
Head for the conference hall immediately and storm the center of contamination. Be prepared to die for the mission. If there's only one man reaching the destination, give him all the firepower. This is our final mission. Kill Sinner Zoya before the Black Ring breaks out, at all costs. Risk of a Black Ring outbreak confirmed. Risk level upgraded to S+. Ground Zero presumed to be Sinner Zoya. Troops for deployment in the risk area are Team FAC BRN-7 and MBCC's Sinner Squad. Go to the conference hall now. Kill Sinner Zoya before the concentration of contamination reaches the threshold level.
Yes, sir!
Chief, a disaster is imminent. This is the only possible course of action. I agree with you in that regard. This crisis is far more serious than the FAC expected. 80% of the anti-Black Ring system has been damaged, which is proof enough that the inheritance is much more powerful than we thought. But when you come down to it, the inheritance is just a catalyst. All this can be traced back to Zoya's mental contamination. We have to eliminate the source to dissolve this crisis. I understand how you feel, and I'm really sorry. But this is the only way out.
Blah, blah-bitty blah! So annoying. Captain, I'll carry this motor mouth with me. Stop wasting our time.
What do you think you're doing? Get your hands off the chief!
Take your filthy paws off me! This city got to where it is today because of you. You thugs. Monsters. Get lost! Tragedies, huh? If you had the slightest idea what real tragedies look like, what we are fighting, you wouldn't think to defend the sinners.
Stop it, 702. The depletion of your hypercubes is speeding up. Don't lose control of your emotions. You don't want to get infected with mania here, right? Start mind suppression immediately.
Sorry, Captain. I'll keep my emotions under control. Sorry.
We didn't mean to antagonize you. We don't hate sinners. Our only enemy is the imminent catastrophe. For the purposes of our upcoming task, I hereby, in accordance with Supplemental Clause 74 of the Code of Confidentiality, divulge to you part of the FAC's confidential information, and assume accountability thus incurred. Everything you see now, from the corruption incidents caused by the contamination to this unsettling turn of events, is just a prelude. The Black Ring, keep the name in mind, it's the ultimate form of a mania crisis. It's an area that causes widespread, severe mental contamination. It appears when a mania crisis goes beyond its limits, it's a no-go zone of mania that cannot be eliminated. Information about what's going on inside the Black Ring is extremely rare, since few can get out alive. We've only recorded the damage caused by the Black Ring. BR000 appeared in NF-84 in the wake of the Dis-C explosion. The number of direct deaths was 87,231, and up until the appearance of BR001, more than 200,000 maniacs had come into being. BR001 appeared in NF-89. More than 30,000 people went missing, with an annual addition of at least 200 people. 3 years later, the contamination spilling out of BR001 formed the isolation belt in the rust, which we still are unable to clean up. Access to data on BR002 and BR003 is blocked. BR004 is coming. Because the FAC has to do its utmost to stop any Black Ring-related information from getting out, in order to prevent secondary disasters. That is, the unpredictable, far-reaching spread of mania. Every time a Black Ring appears, the number of mental cases in the city skyrockets. You don't have to be in contact with contamination to get mentally ill. You might get mentally ill simply by observing a Black Ring, discussing it, or even imagining it. We can't manage the influence of a Black Ring when it's out in the open. And we humans have no way of eliminating a Black Ring once it has appeared. All we can do is to contain its expansion and lessen its effect by blocking the contamination, active camouflage, and information control. This is why information on the Black Ring is strictly confidential. The Black Ring is the source of mania, and simply knowing this piece of information might be enough to bring destruction on ourselves. Misunderstanding caused by information blocking does contribute to sinners being blamed for causing mania. But there's a close link between the appearance of a Black Ring and the behavior of a sinner. With the exception of BR000, whose point of origin hasn't yet been determined, we detected a powerful sinner going manic at the same time when each of the other Black Rings appeared. Such a sinner is called a Black Ring Ground Zero. The M value of Sinner Zoya is already out of range. Once she is corrupted, a Black Ring will descend on Keylan Square immediately. Then, no one inside the ring will survive, and those outside the ring are not going to emerge unscathed. The framework against catastrophe is not trying to sit in judgment on sinners or improve public morals. We have only one job, and that is to do everything we can to fight mania, to prevent the ultimate catastrophe that we humans wouldn't be able to survive. Killing Zoya is the only course of action that can stop this catastrophe. That's what we'll do. And without you, we don't stand a chance of defeating her. Yes. Enemies, get down!
Captain, 10 o'clock. Quick,